I remember it was the Olympics, 1996, in my hometown of Atlanta. And I remember being out in front of our school. And it was really cool to watch that I could still see it. Like the guy carrying the torch was going to meet up with the lady that was going to take the torch and carry it to the next location. And it was this idea that I'm going to pass off to you the fire, the flame, right? And it just was this really, really cool picture that eventually there was this pinnacle where for the Olympics that the fire would light this big thing. And you know what I think about? I think about like, that's you. And that's me. And specifically, I think about it as it relates to leaders. And think about it this way. We're passing the fire. We're kind of like passing the baton. We're looking for the next leader. And truthfully, finding next level leaders or finding our leaders requires a really special, really unique vision, right? That can include things like this. I need to, does this person see the potential in the ministry for more than what it currently is? Do they have that ability? Maybe it's, I'm seeing people accurately for who they are and the skills that they have, and I have an ability to do that, right? Or maybe there's an ability to, like, I can see people futuristically. You may not be at the spot right now, but I know you can be at the spot eventually. And so when you have that ability to see that in people, you are beginning to think about your next leader. You see, there's this common language that is, well, I'm going to replace myself. And maybe that's the best language and I'm not good at it, but I don't know that that's the best approach. In fact, we're not looking for carbon copies, right? Think about this. You're going to give people a unique role for them. And when you do that, you're going to expand your old role, right, to do maybe other things. You're going to bring people in and instead of, well, you're going to do exactly what I was doing and I'm going to go move on. And sometimes people don't want to do that because staff member fears they're going to lose a role, so they intentionally don't replace themselves. But what if you just simply passed the fire? You look for your leaders. Maybe they're already there. Maybe you're see what they could be futuristically, right? Maybe it's just their potential. But how do we know when people are ready to lead? Like, what does that look like for people to be prepared to lead? Let me give you some thoughts to think about. They're stewarding the responsibility they've already been given. In other words, they already do well with what they've been given, right? So they can take on more versus somebody who doesn't do it well. Why would you give them more, right? They're making those that they influence better. Like people like to be around them. They're positively impacting other people. And they can think a little bit like you, right? They get the ministry. They understand like what they should be looking out for, how they should be responding, how they should be impacting people. Doesn't mean that they make the same decisions as you, but they get it, right? You ever said that to somebody? You know what? You get it. You understand it. That's what I'm talking about. One of the things that's really important as you think about like passing the fire, your next level of leadership or your next leader is give them vision to grow their team as well, right? It's not just about them growing, but it's them growing their team. You could maybe invite them into your thinking circle. And as you invite them into your thinking circle, it could include questions like, what do you think we should be doing that we aren't doing? And when you ask somebody like that, you're in a sense developing them to be a leader on your team by inviting them into the thinking circle. And when you do that, it's one small step of passing the fire. Think about that Olympic torch. You're passing it off. And you know what? We need to do more of that because we have some really skilled, really talented, really bought-in volunteers. And what would it look like for us to begin to intentionally develop more of them to be remarkable leaders?